Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 65-year-old Virginia resident and Army veteran Antonio Lamotta had a run-in with the law even before the Capitol attack, and it was related to the 2020 election lies. So on November 5th, you might remember this, this is in 2020, Lamotta traveled to Pennsylvania with another man named Joshua Macias. Macias is the founder of the group called Vets for Trump. He's been tied to the Proud Boys. He was in that infamous meeting with them in the underground parking lot the night before the Capitol attack. So Lamotta and Macias were arrested the night of the counting of the votes because police found an assault rifle and over 100 rounds of ammo in their vehicle, in Lamotta's vehicle. And this was parked near the Pennsylvania Convention Center where they were counting the ballots. So investigators later found text messages that showed Lamotta had sent a text to 3 different friends saying that he was, quote, going to PA to, quote, ambush or raid fake ballots. In other messages, Lamotta talked about a civil war, and he wrote, quote, it's a quick takeover, hang them all high, and, quote, we need strong men. This is a real war after the election if shit hits the fan. So Lamotta was ultimately sentenced to time served and 4 years of probation. So he spent just over 11 months in prison for violating Pennsylvania's gun laws. But before that case was adjudicated, Lamotta messaged people and talked about a, quote, fight. And he speculated as to what would happen if Trump used martial law on January 6th. So on January 6th, he was seen with Macias again. They passed by barricades and the fencing that clearly had area closed signs on them. They walked onto the Capitol grounds, and Lamotta stood watching, and Macias went up and gave a speech to the crowd. And Macias said, oh, Vice President Mike Pence betrayed us. Then Macias called for veterans to defend against domestic enemies. And he said, quote, those domestic enemies are here. So while after that speech, Lamotta was seen illegally entering the Capitol. Now, Macias didn't enter with him. So he went in by himself, but there were alarms blaring. He knew he shouldn't be in there. He moved through the building. He was seen waving his hand, motioning for the mob to come forward. And officers tried to move Lamotta and others toward the exit. This was in the rotunda area. But Lamotta turned away and he waved for others again to move toward the police. So one officer tried to push him with a baton, and then another of the police tried to use a riot shield to push him. And Lamotta kept resisting them. And then at one point, Lamotta locked arms with another member of the mob to try to prevent the police from pushing them out of the building. Then Lamotta was seen leaning backward into the police. And when he turned back around, he started pushing against them with his forearm. Sometime after that, Lamotta saw that officers were trying to secure the exterior rotunda doors, the ones leading to the outside of the Capitol. They were, of course, trying to prevent people from entering. So Lamotta saw them also pull an injured officer inside. They pulled this guy's body inside. So he knew that things were getting dangerous. Police officers were getting hurt. Instead of just, either helping them or leaving, he moved over to the doors, and then he used his forearm to hold one of the doors open for the mob, and then he was waving again for people to come inside. So eventually, Lamotta was forced out, and then he later posted on Facebook, quote, all right, when do we build the horse? So he was making a reference to a Trojan horse. And this guy isn't real bright. On January 10th of 2021, Lamotta posted on Facebook, quote, I had to jettison my pics. The feds were investigating us, LOL. I mean, wow, way to fool them. Tell them, hey, by the way, I deleted all evidence. Anyway, so Lamotta was arrested on August 16th of 2022, and in a superseding indictment, he was charged with civil disorder, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol building. Lamotta refused a plea deal, not wise. He opted instead for a bench trial, and in March of 2024, the judge convicted him of civil disorder, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol building. Why not the other ones? I don't know. But anyway, Lamotta faced a combined 6 years in prison, 13 years of probation, and $260,000 in fines. But the prosecutor requested only 21 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. And the prosecutor noted that Lamotta didn't just start committing crimes when he was arrested in Pennsylvania. In 2012, he was charged with criminal possession of a firearm. That charge was discharged, though, and then the court imposed a $500 fine only. In 2003, Lamotta had numerous traffic convictions and a simple assault charge that ended up being dismissed. Unfortunately, Lamotta had one of the weakest judges on the bench with this January 6 case. U.S. District Judge Gia Cobb presided over Lamotta's case, and when all was said and done, she sentenced him to only 6 months in prison, 2 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. Obviously, nowhere near enough for someone with this history of taking weapons to a vote counting center, right? All because he fell for Donald Trump's lies. The only good news is that he will be in prison during this next election, and he now has multiple felonies on his record. So between the gun case, this case, So anyway, there you go. All comes down to the judge. Anyway, guys, I will let you know if I hear any more or when I hear more about Lamotta. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe to the channel. Please donate if you can. Links are below in the description box on YouTube and the podcast. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.